Well, the big news here in Madison is that we got a lot of rain. Yeah, it's the first time in 8 weeks that we've gotten any kind of rain. It was the driest May and June ever recorded. 1 inch of rain in 2 months. So, well, we got a lot of rain, so maybe, an inch or two. So I feel much better. I went out in it, of course, with my dog. Welcome. And for today, we're going to focus on an aspect of the practice that really we haven't touched on in quite a long time. So, Qigong. Hi, Carolyn. Qigong is movements and engaging the mind, meditation, visualization, and so on. It's also what you would say postures or positions. And we've done a little bit of this with some standing Qigong. This involves holding's not the right word, but just being in certain positions without moving. And the reason is because there's this constant communication going on between body and mind, if you want to sort of think of it that way. And so the body is expressing all the time content like, emotions, thoughts, and so on. And the mind's receiving that. And so it's sort of the same thing in reverse of when we visualize, we use the mind to focus on the body or movements of the body or moving chi in the body. This is the body then interacting with the mind. So it's this give and take. So we'll do some movements as we usually do, and then we'll transition into some postures. I do want to say, if this gets too uncomfortable, and it's not going to happen much, but if there's a position that's difficult for you due to an injury or any other reason, then just change it. Okay, change it into a movement or modify it in some way. Okay, so that you don't hurt yourself. Okay. All right. So we get about 20 YouTube views every week, more or less. So that's why I changed this. Okay. So. Okay, so the best illustration for this interplay between the physical and the mental, and we used to do this in class, one of the first classes we do in each session. So it's just kind of a fun thing. So what we want to do is take the position, the body position of somebody who is very depressed and just got some really bad news. So just what sort of body posture would that be if that happened to you? What would be the first, and if you take that posture right now, so everybody does the same thing. They kind of collapse, they hang their head down, they get limp. That's the body expressing that emotion. Okay. And then it's the body reinforcing that emotion. Okay. So conversely, let's just say something really great just happened, and you're really, really happy, and life has never been better, and there's just this sudden, incredible influx of incredible joy. So what would be that body position, right? You just, what would it be like, right? And everyone does more or less the same thing because we're Homo sapiens. It's like, wow, it's this complete opposite of the first one, right? And so the body's expressing this emotion, and it's also creating it. It's reinforcing it. It's creating it. So the posture that the body takes has a profound impact on the activity of the mind, the mood, the emotions, and so on, and vice versa. Okay, so that's just the basic kind of. That's why we do qigong. It's in a lot of meditation practices, the body just remains still and upright. And that has a profound effect on the mind as well. But in Qigong, there's a lot more freedom uh, uh, with the body. So just to sort of loosen up and come into the thing, you can do any combination of trembling mountain or any movement that you feel that makes you feel good, that kind of just loosens you up a little bit, however you want to do it. So this is, of course, these are movements, so they're external, but this is also very internal because it's moving the internal organs and the joints and so on. Now, this Tai Chi twist thing can get very big. Okay, so this becomes much more external. Okay, and so what is this communicating to the mind doing this kind of a movement? Or I should say, what mood is it invoking? Right? It's a much more, it's open, it's joyful, it's expressive, it's sort of releasing. And it's just a variation on this basic opening movement. Okay, and then reduce the movement. Okay. And then we just drop into this posture, this standing position. Number one, so standing mountain is a little more intentional. So there's this spreading of the arms a little and pointing downward. So that's standing mountain. And standing position one, the palms are more facing each other and the inner elbow is soft. So let's just experiment. So go into standing mountain. You're sitting down here. And just feel that. And then we want to focus mostly on the out breath, the downward. And also contemplate the name, standing mountain. So this is a practice of non-self, because as we really relax into this, there's this intention going downward, brings the mind down, this exhale, releasing. So the body is the earth. Really and truly, so we can experience that. So it's not my body. The body is part of the earth. And it's being experienced as that. So I'm not experiencing it. It's not my body. I'm not the experiencer. It's just is. Out breath. Okay. So this posture is very much a reminder that the body is the earth, comes from the earth, returns to the earth. And that this process goes on regardless of who we think we are. Okay. And that's just in this posture. Okay, now relaxing into standing position number one. So there's some focus now on the palms of the hands. And the connection between the hands. So in Qigong, the hands are conscious. The right hand is conscious of the left hand, vice versa. The hands are communicating with each other. And it's bringing the attention to this circular or oval form of the posture. So this is balancing left and right. And the focus is not downward so much. It's this internal circularity, inside the body, the flow of blood, the flow of air, the flow of lymph. Sort of embracing this body. So there's no intentionality here. Okay, and let's dip the knees and bring the hands up. So embracing the lower dantian. Now our fingers are connecting, but the palms are facing the body. So there, you can imagine there's an eye in each palm that looks into the body. Or there's just this resonance between the palms and the abdomen. So this is a meditation posture. We can bring the breath into that and let the hands expand outward a little bit as the belly expands, and then come back toward the belly a little bit with the out breath. Again, it's a practice of non-self because the breath is moving the body, isn't it? The hands are just sort of riding on the motion. So the breath is very, very ancient and very universal. So it's just breath moving the body. It's not I am breathing. It's not my breath. It's breath moving body. Okay, so the breath is something very, very, very big. It's like the wind that just blows through the trees, the mountains. Okay, so this body is breathing. Okay, very good. And let's move up to standing position number 2. So this is embracing the tree or embracing the moon. And let the elbows just be heavy. So we want to focus on the posture. We have our hands out in front of us, so that tends to pull us forward. So we want to be aware of that and sort of just sink down a little bit. Sit back. We have to counterbalance in order to stay vertical. If you want this to be more difficult, or I should say more of a workout, you can spread your feet apart a little bit and sit down. Don't strain your knees, but we want to have the back straight, so we're not leaning forward. And with the 5 standing meditation postures, we're expecting a little discomfort as we progress through them. And the discomfort is okay. We don't want to be attached to feeling uncomfortable. It's just here, that's all. You may not be feeling it yet. And so what do we do if we start feeling some tension? Well, there are many, many things to do. So we can just go back to breathing. So breathing in through the bottoms of the feet, breathing up. And then back down, breathing out the bottoms of the feet. We can breathe in the bottoms of the feet, breathe out through the top of the head. Breathe in through the top of the head, out through the bottoms of the feet, or any of these breath practices where you're using the eyes and the mind to move the attention. You're actually breathing through different parts of the body. What we want to do is relax into these postures. Okay, very good. Now let's dip the knees and then coming up. So this is window to the moon. So there's a triangle right at the third eye. And we're actually, the head's tilted back. We're looking up. We're looking at the moon. So the hands, the palms of the hands are receiving the light of the universe. And the forehead is directly receiving the light of the universe. It's a window to the moon. So now we can accentuate this with the breath. So in breath, we breathe in through the palms of the hands and through the forehead. And breathe out, breathe down through the feet. Then repeat in breath through the hands and forehead. Okay. Or any variation. This is a practice of non-self. Because this body is a product of the light of the stars, isn't it? We're breathing in this light, which is the energy of what the ancients called the heavens, the boundlessness. We're breathing it through the body. And breathe it down the arms. If your shoulders start getting a little uncomfortable, breathe it right through there. And then that goes down and out. So this is focused on the light of the universe. What it really is at a deeper level is the source of the light. And there's no image for that. The light, the image of light is as close as we can get in this practice to the source of the light. It can also be felt. Okay, and dipping the knees again. Now, the next one is window to the stars. So it's the same thing. The palms now, though, are facing up. And we're making the triangle over the center of the head. And then we're breathing in the light, the source of the light through the hands and through the very top of the head. And do whatever breath visualization or breath practice you want. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit of discomfort. We're breathing in the cosmic light and the source of the cosmic light into the body. It's worth a little bit of discomfort. And the eyes are looking up. They can either be actually looking up, or if you're outdoors, you can be looking up at the sky, or the eyes can be partly closed. Let's do 2 more breaths. Okay, and now dip the knees. And now the 5th position. It's like standing mountain, only it's more relaxed. So we're just as if your hands are resting on something. And in this posture, you continue with any of the breathing practices we've been doing. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead. Let's bring up our stool. The body's a little tired, which is another way of saying it's relaxed. And that's good. And then we want the uprightness. Tuck the chin a little. Right now, let's imagine, remember, feel those postures as we're sitting. Start with the standing mountain posture and remember it, imagine it, feel it. This is sitting mountain. Very good. And the practice of non-self sitting, breathing the stars. So we're breathing the light of the sun, the moon, the stars, not just through the forehead and the crown of the head, but through every cell in the body from all directions. Okay, and the contemplation, the body comes into being with the in-breath. And the body dissolves, evaporates with the out-breath. Interplay of form and spaciousness. The in-breath gives birth to the body. The out-breath releases the body. So if you like this experience of density with the in-breath and diffusion with the out-breath. Let's take a few more breaths. And now we let go of any visualization or intention and just notice what you feel. So this is what the ancients called the energetic body. There's this physical body, and then superimposed on it or in it, there's this life force energy, this tingling aliveness that animates the body. And it's the same aliveness as in all living things. So again, it's not my life, my energy. I am experiencing this. It's just present. Body comes into being, body evaporates. And all the while this is going on, this being and non-being. This takes place within awareness. Which is very, very big. Okay, very good. Let's take a few more breaths. And then just move around a little bit. Okay, good. Well, let's stand again. All right, so let's do the cloud hands posture. Okay, and then come up to the heart. Good. All right, touching heaven, touching earth. Done this many times. So one hand up, one hand down, and stretch a little bit. Good. Hold the posture. Okay, and the midpoint between the hands is the heart, is the middle dantian. Okay, and then with your breath, you send the attention up the arm, through the arms to the hands. And then extend the attention beyond the hands, straight down into the earth, straight up. So that your arms, in effect, get very, very, very long. Touching heaven, touching earth. So the upper one is way up in the universe, the lower one way down in the earth. Okay, and they're connected right up through the body, through the lower dantian, middle dantian, the brain, up. They're connected through this column that's conscious. So the body's connecting heaven and earth. Okay, very good. All right, now let's come back. Okay, now one hand sort of has the energy of up, the other one has the energy of down, and now they're balancing. And this resonates up and down that column. Okay, very good. Let's dip the knees again and send the arms out, 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 out. Okay, again, the midpoint is the heart. And then with the breath, send the attention out the arms to the hands. Continue out in all directions. Extending out very, very far, connecting to the web of life, all the connections. And so this body is kind of a node in the net of Indra, the vast net, in all directions. And we're sending our attention out in all directions. We're connected to all that is. Very good. And dipping the knees. Now we bring all that back. That expansiveness, now it gets concentrated in the body. Okay, very good. Now let's repeat and use the other hand this time. Up, extend. I'm not going to say anything here. Okay, and then back to middle dantian. Okay, and then out. What's the feeling of this? Stretching beyond all limits. No separation. Okay, let's come back. Okay, let's do the movement now. Do this with your breath. And now just feel free to hold. There's 3 positions. Just hold any one of them and continue the practice with your mind in stillness. Use the breath. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and move to the next one. And then either keep moving or stay still. Let's return to the middle dantian. All right, let's try this with another movement. So in cloud hands, we'll do diagonal flying. So turn in the direction of the upper hand, okay, and then send out the lower hand diagonally, and the upper hand goes back, and just hold this position. Now this is also called gazing at the moon. The moon would be between the thumb and first finger and aligned with the forehead. And then the other hand, so you're breathing in from the upper hand, out the lower hand. And one more breath. And now, back to cloud hands. Now this other hand is now in the bottom. Okay. And wind up and send them out. The same meditation. Okay. One more breath. And then back to cloud hands. And repeat. And one more breath. Okay, and then last one. Now the visualization, the intention may dissolve as the mind relaxes. And one more breath. And then back to cloud hands. And then turning the palms toward the body and either placing the hands on the body or just in front. Okay, 2 more breaths. Okay, let's bring up our stool. So now we can practice touching heaven, touching earth. Imagining, remembering, feeling the body postures. And when you're ready, just let the whole visualization, intention, just let it fade. It's just the body, the breath, awareness. Let's take a few more breaths. All right, very good. Let's do our closing movement. 1, 2, 3. And make loose fists, tap the kidneys. And massage the kidneys. All right. Thank you so much for your presence and for your practice. And now, if you would like to stay for conversation, please do. And if you'd rather leave, have a good night.